All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harachwadash. Double honor to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone who teach, guide, and rule well. Greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you. Hopeful elect, Shalom unto you. Your brother Shaquat here from the Las Vegas Church. Just want to go into this video. Something I've been meditating on for quite a while. And to be apprehended. Okay. A lot of times we in the faith we belittle the moment, okay, of being apprehended. We know that this has to happen. Matter of fact, let me get a quick precept. Now that it's kind of coming to mind, something I didn't bring up. Let's go to Matthew, the 5th chapter. You're right around here. Yeah. And the reason I'm going to read this is because another scripture that came to mind, I'm not going to get it, but it says, a servant is not greater than his master. Okay. When they apprehended Yahushua, that means they're going to apprehend us. They're going to do the same things or worse to us, so, but worse to, nothing will compare what happened to Yahushua. So we're partakers of his persecution, right? So anyway, Matthew 5:11, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Okay, for the sake of the ministry of our beliefs. Okay, and being apprehended, man, it takes your faith to really be tested in that moment, because it's hard to, unless you've been taken or apprehended in any situation before. It's hard to just say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because you forget you have a nervous system. Okay, and your nervous system has to be brought under control. Some people, it kicks in flight, fright, or freeze mode, right? And some people just get that moment happen, they just take off running. Some people laugh, some people freeze, some people fight. Well, we're going to have to be allowed to be apprehended, okay? Because we're spiritual. We understand what the prophecies say. We understand Yahushua allowed it, okay? And this is the way that the Most High is going to show his power, by allowing them to do it. And being apprehended, we got to understand also that when it comes down, some will even be beheaded. Okay, and I'm going to try to get these things all in here. Okay, so verse 12 says, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets that were before you. So this is, what's the word I want to use? I don't want to call it a lineage, but this is a service that we provide, that this is the end of it. An office, if you will. When we signed up to be believers of Yahweh Shemashah, this is from our perspective. We understand spiritually, we don't have any free will, but when we was resolving ourselves to say, you know what, I'm persuaded in my own mind, this is what it is. I counted the cost. Okay, the cost is I can be beheaded. Okay, the cost is I'm going to be apprehended. Okay. The cost is I know I'm going to go through all these trials and tribulations. Lord willing, I'm worthy to be fed and to be given drink and to be safe and to be rescued and so on and so forth. All right, but bringing the human element back to it, especially in these chains of darkness, yeah, your nervous system could send all kinds of crazy carnal signals to your mind, to make you snitch or run. Okay, but we're working on rehearsing our faith and practicing our faith and being steadfast in our faith, that we won't be movable when the day comes. So let me get a few other precepts. Okay, so we're going to grab, let's see where they go. One that I kind of liked on here. So we're going to get the book of Acts, the 12th chapter, all right? And what I had is gone. Oh, well, it don't change nothing. All right. Close enough. It says, Acts 12:1, it says, now at that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church, the most notable, right? Anyway, it says, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, the Israelites, right, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. Now, I looked that word up real quick. Let me grab it. All right, this is book of Acts 12, to take. Simlambano, to take. Okay? All right, to seize, take one as prisoner, to conceive of a woman of lust who impulses a man indulges. You know what that means, right? To seize for oneself in a hostile sense, to make one a permanent prisoner, to take hold together with one, to assist, help, to secure. All right, now we know the version we're looking for is to seize, to take one as prisoner, right? Apprehend, to arrest, capture, seize, clasp. Okay. So let's go into the root word, lambano. Yep. Lambano. Okay. To take with the hand, to lay hold of any person or thing in order to use it, to take up a thing to be carried, to take upon oneself, to take in order to carry away without the notion of violence, to remove, take away. It's funny, that's, you know, some people get over that great situation, and that's, you know, you don't understand how it actually works, okay? And from Deuteronomy, but I digress. To take what is one's own, to take to oneself, to make one's own, to claim, procure for oneself, to associate with one's self as companion, attendant of, right? That goes back to that Deuteronomy 20:22, I believe it is, of that which when taken is not let go, to seize, to lay hold of, apprehend, to apprehend. Okay, there's our word there, right? To take by craft, our catch, used of hunters, fishermen, etc., to circumvent one by fraud. Anyway, that's another video. Anyway, it says catch at, reach after, strive to obtain, to take a thing due, to collect, gather, to take, to admit, receive, to receive what is offered, not to refuse or reject, to receive a person, give him access to oneself, to regard anyone's power, rank, external circumstances, and on that account to do some injustice of neglect something. Okay? Shows you how heavy this word goes. But the word we were looking for was apprehend right here, right? So let's go back to the definition of apprehend. Because right here it says, and when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison, right? And delivered him to 4 quadrants of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring, or the Pesach, right? To bring him forth to the people, all right? Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto the Most High for him, okay? And small note there, praying for one another is huge, right? Let's get this going. So apprehend, the definition. Arrest someone for a crime. Now, here's the issue. We're not going to be arrested for a crime. We're just going to be arrested for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for the faith and belief of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So we should take a calmness to that. You know, if Jake has ever been arrested, it don't feel good, but you like, damn, I know I did something wrong, so it's kind of justified. But this, and it just feels bad because now you deserve to be put somewhere. But when you're wrongfully accused, you have a different feeling about it. Okay, different energy. Well, wrongfully accused or not, being taken in for the ministry, for the faith. And matter of fact, let me grab that real quick before I forget it. Okay, 1 Peter 4. And it's funny, Peter speaking on this also, right? Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. You're going to go through things because it is truth. Okay? Extra things that you wouldn't just go through because you're a Jake, but you're going to minimize some of the folly that you get into as a Jake, because you're going to be like, nope, that's just not wise to do. I'm not doing that. That's the old person. That's not what I'm about. Blah, 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 on and on. Right? It says, but rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Yahweh's sufferings. He was apprehended. Peter was apprehended. Okay, James was apprehended. You started looking down, and the men before us were apprehended. Okay, that whose lot instead that we're in. Okay, it says that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. All right. So let's go and look into these words a little more, right? It says, apprehend. A warrant was issued, but he has not been apprehended. Arrest, capture, catch. Take prisoner, seize. Put in jail, detain. Incarcerate, in prison. Yeah, let's see what else we got. Understand, perceive, comprehend. Okay, that's the other. Okay. See if we can get more definitions out of it. Anticipate something with uneasiness or fear. Okay. And that's what we're trying to remove. And that's from apprehensive, right? But we don't want to be apprehensive about being taken, man. This is what comes. We're not trying to be like, yeah, come get me. You ain't got to be like, Jake, just do it, man. You can just do it. And all of that. Nah, man. But if they come in, what am I going to run for? What am I going to fight for? Okay? Because I may be killed, man, I'm not worried about it. If I'm killed doing the righteous things, hey, man, the glory should still be there for me. My works follow, scriptures say, and their works follow them. Okay? In the book of Revelation. All right? So, in fact, I'll get it right quick just so you aren't put off by the idea of death. And we understand reincarnation, which I'm not going to get into that. It's a lengthy video, not to be added onto this, but at the same time, when you understand the process of how this works, hey, man, you don't have the same fear like that. That don't mean you should be wild and unwise and do things that can get you or others around you hurt and injured, okay? Maybe even killed. But, hey, at the same time, you got to be smart enough to know or have enough faith to understand, hey, this is part of the process, man, to get to the kingdom of heaven. And it's well worth it, okay? As Peter just wrote, but rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Yahweh's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Let me grab this one in Revelation. All right, Revelation 14, I'll start at verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Okay, here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh, Yahweh, and the faith of Yahweh, right? And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. Okay? And your righteous works will follow you, man. If you die doing the right thing for Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. All right? And one more thing in this apprehend, grasp, get hold of, physically or mentally. Okay? When we're speaking about physically, okay, a lot of jakes are going to be apprehended mentally to take that C-hip, okay, the MOTB, okay, and on that other side, me keep mentioning Deuteronomy, the way that you actually, I'm not going to go into that, never, Salaki. Okay, so that this is Acts 12, verse 4, for the word apprehend, piazzo, okay, piazzo. It says to lay hold, take, capture, okay, apprehend, okay, of a man in order to imprison him, okay. Same understanding of the word, okay. All right. See the root word, biazo, biazo. To use force, to apply force, to force, inflict violence on, okay. And then we know that that's what's coming for us, man. That's what they got to do to get the prophets from uh, 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 changing the minds of the people. And really, it's going to be the elect that they're truly instilling this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and faith and belief into, and showing them how to do the works. So they don't want us out there calling it play by play, so the people can see the BS of the system, okay, of this MOTB NWO system, okay. It says biazo, to cry oneself, or painfully to be seized, press, suffer violence, okay. And we know the scriptures have these things on it, okay. Taken by violence, carried by storm, okay. All right. All right, John 18. Let me see. Yep, we know this is that moment, right, with Yahushua. It says John 18, I'll start up at verse 2. And Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place, for Yahushua oftentimes resorted thither with his disciples. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, come thither with lanterns and torches and weapons, right? And Yahushua, knowing all things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto him, whom seek ye? Okay, and we've been edified to know that what was to come upon us, okay, we know that this servant is not greater than our master. They apprehended the men and persecuted the men that were before us, you know, and so they will apprehend us, okay. It says, and here's a point 4, it says, Yahushua, therefore, knowing all things that should come upon him. And a lot of you other Israelite groups aren't teaching your men that this is going to happen, okay. A lot of the 2/3 don't realize that this is going to happen. This is why they're going to try to point the prophets out, the men of the Lord out, and be like, get them, they're the ones causing all these problems, okay, not realizing the service that we're really doing to get us back to the kingdom of heaven, okay. But the problem is they got to know it after death by pain, all right. But they going to know that there had been a prophet among them, and they going to believe when they see the power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, okay. In that day, it says, whom seek ye? They answered, Yahushua of Nazareth. Yahushua said to them, I am he. And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them. Okay. I just like this part right here. And as soon as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backwards and fell to the ground. Okay. I love that part, right? So this was just a beautiful moment. All right. I'm not going to bring up, as a matter of fact, I am going to keep reading, because what Peter actually does next is important that we don't do. Okay. It is verse 7. And he said, and he asked them again, whom seek ye? And they said, Yahushua of Nazareth. And Yahushua answered, I have told you that I am he. If therefore ye seek me, let these go their way. Okay, let my friends go, that the same might be fulfilled which he spake, of them which thou gavest me, I have I lost none. Right. Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it and smote the high priest's servant and cut off his right ear. And the servant's name was Malchus. Right. Then said Yahushua unto Peter, put up thy sword into the sheath. The cup which my Father hath given me, shall I not drink it? Okay? Hey, he gave this to me. This is something I have to bear. So let me grab something else right quick. Luke 14:26. If any man come to me and hate not and prefer not, right? Hate not his father or his mother or wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Meaning you have to deny yourself and those other people and things in your life that the Lord must be at the forefront of what you're about, okay, of what you believe, of what you're trying to live towards, right? And whosoever do not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple, okay? So you have to bear the cross, man, when it comes. You know that this is what the Heavenly Father set up for us to have to go through to prove our faith. We know the power, we know the comforts that he told us about as well. So why go into this like, oh man, it sucks. Yeah, it's gonna suck. But go in there like, yeah, like I'm gonna get it, Lord willing, like the Maccabees did, man. Hey, take me out. If that be the case that you gotta do it. Do what you gotta do, man. Take me out. Okay? But may Yahweh Shemi Shai have mercy on me. You know, may he rescue me. Okay? And be stuck in that belief, man. I don't want to say stuck, but you know, be steadfast in that belief. Hold on to that. All right? Let's go back. Now we're in Matthew 8, which says, and his disciples came to him. Let me see. Yeah. Right. Yep. So I'll start at 24. Yeah, 23. Matthew 8:23. And when he was entered into the ship, his disciples followed him, right? And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch as the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Right? Because this is a test of our faith. The things that are coming, man, are going to test our faith. Okay? But this is what we read and we study for. We read and we study that our faith may be strong. Okay? That we won't have any doubts, that we will be comforted when these things come, knowing what it is the Lord said he would do, and then giving him no rest till he perform them. Lord willing, on us being a part of the elect. Okay? It said, then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. Then the men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? So if our Lord can do that, what are we worried about, O ye of little faith, right? The next one is, okay, Matthew 14, I'll start up at 23 on this one. It says, and when he had sent the multitude away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray, and when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. Right? So now they're already on the boat. He sent them away to get on the boat, and he was supposed to be on that trip with them. Right? It says, and in the fourth watch of the night, Yahushua went unto them, walking on the sea. Right? It's a miracle. It says, and when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But straightway Yahushua spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto thee on the water. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. Okay, and to make that, when you see them coming, when they start talking on the news that they're coming to get the Hebrew Israelites, when you hear them hitting the corner, and you hear the sirens, and you see the flashing lights, and they beating on the door, and they tell you come out, and whatever the case may be, man, when they pull up and they ain't playing games, they got the SWAT man, whatever the case may be. Okay, whatever the case may be. All right. It is likened unto a moment of this wind being boisterous, man. And yeah, you're going to cringe for a moment. Okay. All right. and it says here, and when he saw the wind was boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. Right? And that's a prayer in that moment. That's when you got to be sending them up in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It says, and immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, where didst thou doubt? Wherefore didst thou doubt? Like, we can't have doubt about it in the moment, man, and then expect things to come to pass on our behalf. Okay? Light up in here. All right? It's important that we don't have doubt. Right? It says, and when they were coming to the ship, the wind ceased. Right? Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, of a truth, thou art the Son of the Most High. All right. More miracles, man. We have to understand that this is providing the setting, if you will. All right, for the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to do miracles for us, man, for His people. Okay, didn't it not say that He hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he could show His power? Matter of fact, let me get it in rule. Paul said it. Paul said it, right? Romans 9, verse 17, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up. Okay, this moment is being set up when the prophets will be apprehended for the Most High to show His power. It's going to say that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. It's another moment that's coming up, man. When the people begin to see that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is defending us, okay, Lord willing, I'm of the elect, but defending His elect, His chosen people. Okay, the ones that have been out there, that's been going through it, y'all been kicking and spitting and talking all crazy about. But then there's some that did believe in what they're talking about, but it makes sense what they're saying, but you're not willing to, whatever the case may be. That's when the power is going to be understood of who the Most High is dealing with. Okay? That was pretty much the point. I want to jump down though. Verse 22, what if the Most High, willing to show His wrath and to make His power known, okay, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. He endured the Edomites. He endured you wicked ass Jakes. He endured the system and the bad conditions, you know, that his elect has to go through, okay? And that He might make known the riches of His glory on the vessels of mercy, which He had afore prepared unto glory. Okay? So he has a setup and a purpose for all these things to happen. In the book of Proverbs, I'll grab it. I've been quoting it different times and places. Proverbs 16, verse 4. It said, the Lord Yahweh have made all things for Himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So everything's purpose has to be realized, so to speak, okay? Has to come to pass. Okay, you think He preserved these Edomites all the way back with Cain and his whole Lamech and all of them, Tubal Cain and all of these, up to Esau and all the way through Esau to the Rothschilds and all of this? You think He preserved all of this going on in the earth for Him to not have control? For you to be worried about what's going to happen? He didn't give us His word to be worried and concerned about it, but to take it seriously. But hey, this is a time that fear should come upon you. But when you're in the good graces of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, as we were reading in Romans 9 just now, it should be a thing that you rejoice. You see? 22. It should be something that we're rejoicing over. Okay? All right? That's why in 1 Peter said, when His glory shall be revealed, we shall be glad with exceeding joy also. Okay? So let's go back. Wow, a lot of these precepts are coming to mind. Matter of fact, before I grab this, let me grab this in Matthew real quick. Matthew, the 6th chapter. I'm going to get to the point. Matthew 6:31. Therefore, take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? All right. The Most High made, and I didn't get this one. I just a miracle that I thought about. We wandered in that wilderness for 40 years, and our shoes and clothes didn't wear out, man. Okay, and our shoes and clothes didn't wear out. All right, that's something that's vital and important for you to understand. Okay, 40 years, yeah, there's no way that your shoes, you walking around in the middle of the desert and through the wilderness and so on and so forth, your clothes are gonna wear out. But he had it so it didn't happen that way. So how are we concerned about what shall happen in these last days? We know, according to the scripture, what's gonna happen. Okay? There's no reason to be all humdrum, woe is me, man, this is coming. Yeah, your nervous system's going to want to take over and have you feeling a certain kind of way, but you got to rebuke Satan off you, man, with that carnal emotion. Okay? Yeah, you'll have, your woman may be with you, she may have some doubt. Your kids may be with you, they may be scared and have some doubt. That's when your faith and your fortitude got to really stand up. Okay? Matthew 6:31. Therefore, take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these do the Gentiles seek, the Israelite foreigners, okay? Those that don't have faith and belief in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? So I guess that does qualify for the 2/3 as well, right? It says, for your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness. And what is his righteousness now? Faith, man. To appease him, you cannot, in Hebrews 11 chapter, you cannot, that he is a rewarder, you cannot please him without faith. Oh, damn, I butchered that. I better get it because I can't call it right quick. Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Okay, so this moment that's being set up to be apprehended, among other situations, and that's why I'm kind of getting these different things out of the scriptures, these different moments of walking on water, a miracle, okay, being apprehended, okay, so on and so forth. These moments came up to test these men's faith, and our servant is not greater than his master, so they persecuted the men that were before thee. We got to go through it as well. All right. So Matthew 16 and 7. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, it is because we have taken no bread. Which when Yahushua perceived, he said unto them, O ye of little faith, why reason ye among yourselves, because ye have brought no bread? They were hungry, right? Do you not understand that neither remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000 and how many baskets ye took up? Okay, 5 loaves and a few fish fed 5,000 people, and there was leftovers, man. Okay, neither the 7 loaves of the 4,000 and how many baskets ye took up. Okay, how is it you do not understand that it is not concerning bread that it should beware the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees? All right, but that's not the point. Okay, but saying, I just used this moment to show how he was saying, why are you worried about food, man? I got you. Okay, don't you know that I can feed you with little or nothing, that you'll have more than enough? Okay, all right. So your faith has got to be what propels you through these moments, man, to take it manfully, so to speak, to take it cheerfully. All right. Okay, Luke 22:54. Then took they him and led him and brought him into the high priest's house, and Peter followed afar off. Okay, so they apprehended him and brought him to the high priest's house, right? And it says, and when they had kindled a fire in the midst of the hall and were sat down together, Peter sat down among them, right? But a certain maid beheld him as he sat by the fire, and earnestly looked upon him, and said, this man was also with him. And he denied him, saying, woman, I know him not. All right, it's what you tripping. You got me mistaken for somebody else. Okay, we're gonna want to do that. Okay, we're gonna want to keep ourselves out of the situation of a brother being apprehended, to live on and to tell to the next brothers what had happened or whatever the case may be, for whatever motivations. The Spirit may come upon us to deny the moment, like Peter denied Yahushua in this moment. Okay, but when it hit him that Yahushua warned him or told him that it would go down, that you would deny him 3 times, and then the cock would crow, right? It hit Peter like, oh shit, did I really just deny the Lord? Because he said, I will never do it, right? Knowing that occasion. Anyway, it says, and after a little while, another saw him and said, thou art also of them. And Peter said, man, I am not. And about the space of 1 hour after, another confidently affirmed, saying, of a truth, this fellow also was with him, for he is a Galilean. And Peter said, man, I know not what thou sayest. And immediately, while he yet spake, the cock crew. And the Lord turned and looked upon Peter, and Peter remembered the word of the Lord when he had said unto him, before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. And Peter went out and wept bitterly. Okay. And the men that had held Yahushua mocked him and smote him. Okay. He knew the moment. Okay. The Spirit is going to have us say what we need to say and do what we need to do, as it says. Matter of fact, I might as well get it. Matthew 10, I must read, right? Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, right? But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils. So we know it's coming, right? And we're being comforted by the things that he said. And they will scourge you in their synagogues, and they shall be brought before. And this happened in the ancient world as well. Okay, we have a great account of how the brother Stephen dealt with it. Okay, from Acts the 7th chapter, I believe. Right? It says, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Okay, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. Hey, the Spirit is going to give it to you, man. Okay? It's going to be given unto you. There's no worries, man. There's nothing to be worried about. We have been comforted by these same scriptures. Though destruction is coming, his chosen will be in good case, man. Okay, we got nothing to worry about. Okay? Now's the time when you worry, if there's time to worry about anything, that you're doing enough. A lot of my worry goes into the fact that, am I doing enough? I don't think I'm doing enough. Let's do more. Damn, these brothers is on fire. Let me get in. Then I gotta try to cut as much time out of my personal life, because work is taking up half my day, and then the rest time is the house and sleep, and let me try to get in what I can get in. Okay. Anyway, it says, for it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death. Right? We know. To death. And the father the child. And the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. Okay? We know that this is coming. All right? And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Okay? So we know that this is coming. All right? We know that this is coming. Yeah, it came in those times back then, but it's coming around again. The things that are written aforetime are written for our learning. All right? So we know it's coming again. Revelation chapter 2, verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and that ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right. Revelation 20 and 4, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, And judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua Mashiach, and for the word of the Most High. Okay? And which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. All right, I'm going to bring this one back in just a minute, but understand, we signed up that death was being put to death for this belief was on the table, man. It was a possibility of what could happen. Okay? If you didn't know that, you need to really sit down and really figure out what you done gotten yourself into, because this is the final cost. And yeah, your nervous system will feel a certain way. I've never had my head under a guillotine or even a plate guillotine or nothing like that. Okay, I have had a gun pointed at me, and it make you think a little bit different. But then that's when the spirit kind of hit me in that moment, like, I can't die like this. I gotta agree with my adversary quickly in that situation. But in this one, for that was something that I was into. But for the Yahweh Shem Yahushua, hey man, the Spirit is gonna give us what we need to know and what we need to do in that moment. All right. Our 2 Maccabees chapter 5. Let's see. Yeah. I'll start 25. Who coming to Jerusalem and pretending peace did forbear till the holy day of the Sabbath, when taking the Jews keeping the holy day, he commanded his men to arm themselves. And so he slew all them that were gone into the celebrating of the Sabbath, and running through the city with weapons slew great multitudes. And when you know what's going on, Antiochus Epiphanes had given a decree to slay anybody that was following the laws, any of the Israelites that was following the statute, laws, and commandments, right? And so they were being put to death. You know, pretty much trying to keep everybody on the same one accord of the commandment of the king, which was an ancient day New World Order. So when the New World Order comes in today, it's going to be a different scenario that plays out. Okay, and they gave us in this manuscript here with the Maccabees, it gave us how to deal in those days, man. If that be your lot, to be put to death. All right. It says it says slew great multitude, said, but Judas Maccabeus with 9 others or thereabout withdrew himself into the wilderness and lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts with his company, who fed on herbs continually, that they should be partakers of the pollution. All right, they didn't want to get caught up in that situation. All right, as Yahushua told us later to flee into the mountains in 70 AD. Well, we can't flee this time. There's nowhere to go. If you look at how America's set up with these cities, man, where you gonna go with the technology and everything? Where you gonna go? Where you running off to? They gonna have a ghetto bird out there. They gonna have cameras everywhere activated. Come on, man. And it sounds like a sci-fi futuristic movie, but this is modern day time. This is already 2024. This stuff is now. Just watch the Dark Knight, the Batman Dark Knight movie, and he turned all the cell phones into cameras, man. Okay? He turned all the, man, you telling me this man don't have that power to do that? To send out a vibration, those Amber Alerts or whatever, any of that vibration, and they can pick up on these vibrations and then triangulate certain, come on, man, come on. Right? They got UP addresses that they can hit on certain cell towers, that they can just find what cell tower you got that you're close to. Okay, which if you had the C-HIP in you, which we cannot take, which we should not take, which we must not take, okay, well, we'll be able to ding, ding, and have location GPS on certain people that took it. All right? Okay, this is 2 Maccabees 6 now. Verse 8 said, Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. And whoso, right, conform to the NWO, right? And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery, okay, putting people to death. He's about to actually go through what that was. I might as well read it because the time coming is going to be great death in the city, man. The Most High is going to be putting a lot of people to death. That death angel is going to be out there, okay? You go to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, and you can read about slay utterly old and young, men, women, and children, all right? It says, for there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children, doing the right thing according to the law, okay, to Yahweh Shem Shai, who they had openly led around about the city, the babies handing at their breast, okay, they cast them down headlong from the wall. They threw the babies, man. And others they had run together into the caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered by Philip, were all burnt together, okay, because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day, okay. Now I beseech those that read this book that they may not be, that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. Okay, when you understand it was us being chastised, because a lot of us folded. Okay, when you read in the first Maccabees, a lot of us, the first chapter even, a lot of us folded and gave in to the commandments of the king. Okay. It says, for it is a token of great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. Okay, even us, when we went off, we had to be punished as well. Okay, and this Jacob's trouble is for us, man, to have to go through. We got to go through Jacob's trouble, man. That's why it's so beautiful that the apostle coined the year, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble comes to pass, man. And we do hope it comes to pass. Okay, let's get to it, man. All right. I want to be tested, man. I want to see if my faith is where it needs to be. Lord willing, when the day comes, my faith will be there, and Yahweh Shem Shai won't leave me, and I'll stay sincere with them, right? Let me see. Yeah, let me read that. Verse 16. And therefore he never withdrawed his mercy from us, and though he punished with adversity, yet do he never forsake his people. I got to mark that one. All right. But let this that we have spoken be for a warning unto us, and now we will come to the declaring of the matter in a few words. Right. Anyway, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained within such an abomination, spitted forth and came of his own accord to the torment. Okay? And it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things, right? To not fold to the NWO, as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they had the charge of the wicked feast, and the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, because they knew him. Bring your own meat over, right? Such as was lawful for him to use, and to make as it, if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. I mean, just seek this meat, right? You want him to fold, you want him to trim his way to seek love, right? That in so doing he might be delivered from death, for the old friendship with them find favor. Okay. Then he began to consider discreetly that, and as became his age, and the excellency of his years, of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightway to send him to the grave. Okay, if you want to put me to death, go ahead. And I like the quote that Obi-Wan gave Darth Vader: strike me down and I shall become more powerful than you could ever imagine. That's the mind state you got to be thinking. You know, the scriptures say to die is gain. All right. It says, and when you read into this, I'm not going to read it all, but they all went one after another to the torment, man. They were tortured. Okay, we got to know that we may be tortured once we're apprehended as well. Okay, but this is set here so you can get your mind right and be comforted in it. Let me see if I can find 26. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Okay? So why would I fold? I can escape punishment for a small amount of time from men, but in the long run, the Most High is going to get me, man. Okay? The Most High is going to get me. The King of Terrors. Okay? And we had examples in the scriptures of what happened to men that folded. Right? 28. And leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws, for the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right, in these times. And when he has said these words, immediately he went to the torment. All right, and that's the mind state we got to have. And setting that example is set that example for the younger men that did the same when you go into the 7th chapter. All right. All right. And I mean, excellent. I mean, you can kind of see what it says there. All right. I'll read 31. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage. Right. And our faith will give us into that noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation. And we read about it now because the things are written aforetime are written for our learning, that we can draw from this. Okay. The courage that Eleazar had, okay, and the other Maccabees, right? Okay, this is 2 Ezra 16, verse 67. Behold, Yahweh himself is the judge. Okay, we got to be concerned with the Almighty, the Most High, is going to do. Forget about men. Matter of fact, let me grab that one. I just grabbed it the other day. Real quick, Matthew 10 and 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Okay? That's what we should be concerned about. Forget when we're apprehended and put under the guillotine or the firing squad or stoned or whatever the case may be. Okay? Stay with a righteous conscious mind towards Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? All right? All right, it says, behold, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai himself is the judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. You got to be comforted with those words, right? It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And we have to know that in mind today. They're going to come and try to apprehend us. Okay? And they shall take away certain of you. We read a couple occasions in Revelations even, showing you that it's happening in the last days. And feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. Right? And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. Okay? Consent unto what? Unto that MOTB. Unto folding, man. Okay? They got us now. Okay, you saved yourself a little bit. As Eleazar pointed out, okay, I can save myself for a little while, but I still got to deal with the Almighty. Okay, and that's why it says, they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot. You're going to get jacked up for consenting also, man. All right, so don't. right? It says, for there shall be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. We know many of the 2/3 and the heathen don't fear the Lord. Okay, but the elect do. So this is going to come upon us that do fear the Lord, right? For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Okay, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Yahweh is your guide. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash is your guide. Okay, let me grab something before. Right, Matthew 14:31 again, and immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O ye of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt it? Again, it's telling us not to doubt. Okay, in 30 it said, but when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. Yeah, you're gonna be afraid, man. We're gonna be afraid when it happens, but then that's when the faith got to kick in to be settled in it. Okay, to be resolved in it. Look up the word resolve.
Definition of resolve: settle or find a solution to a problem, dispute, or contentious matter.
All right, I'll read it. It says settle or find a solution to a problem, dispute, or contentious matter. Okay, we have to be resolved in the trouble that we're dealing with, man. But we're settled to what it is. Okay, this is what happens. All right, okay, dang, I want to get to this. I got to get to that. I want to walk over. I got to get to this place, and my car's not here. I don't have any of that. I got to walk. Well, I'm settled that I'm gonna get there. Whether I got to walk, ride a bike, skateboard, whatever the case may be, I'm settled that this is what I got to do and go through. Right? Decide firmly on a course of action. Okay, and the course of action may be for your head to go under the guillotine and suffer death. But it's okay. All right. Make one's mind up, conclude, come to conclusions, settle on a plan of action, reach a decision, okay, determine, all right. Gotta have resolve, man. And when you resolve, you don't have doubt, okay. So let's go back. Back in Revelation 20, right? And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua Mashiach and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. They didn't consent, right? Unto having that put in them, being put to death, right? It says, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. And they said the dead shall rise first, right? 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that perish, right? That ye sorrow not, okay? Even as others which have no hope. They don't have a hope of coming back and seeing them again. They don't have a hope of salvation, right? But watch how this is written, beautifully written, right? For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with him. Okay, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord, Yahushua, right, shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord Yahweh himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, and with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. All right, so those that died in this thing, they're going to come back with Yahushua, man, when he comes back with the angels to rescue the elect that are still alive down here. Okay, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Another moment like Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. All right, he's going to stand up and defend us. This is what should be resolved in your mind. This is what your faith should be standing on. Okay? Resolved into being apprehended, man. The resolve is because this is a proving of our faith. And we've been comforted with what's going to happen to those that have stood fast. Okay? For the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? It says, and there shall be a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, caught up in the cloud, as we just read in Thessalonians, right? Every one that shall be found written in the book. Okay, and that's them as well as those that were beheaded. Okay, all of them. Okay, be faithful unto death. Look, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, and some to everlasting life, those that died in Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, and some to everlasting shame and contempt. All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Start at 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Because when you die on earth, man, you die. The flesh dies, man. And when you know, it said your spirit goes back to him who gave it. Okay? Back to heaven. Right? Where the Most High is at, right? Neither do corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep or die, but we shall all be changed. Right? Some will be the martyrs, beheaded and so on and so forth, put to death. Some will not. Right? But we'll be caught up together. Right? In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Okay? And we shall be changed. We're going to go up in that cloud. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality, right? So when this corruptible have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Okay, this is how we inherit what Yahushua conquered. Okay, he overcame death by the death of the cross, and then was raised incorruptible after that. The same will happen to us. All right, you have to be resolved that these miracles are true. Okay, that these detrimental situations that make you feel a certain way have to be put to the side, man. And your wisdom and belief and faith and actions have proven that in your hope have proven that you are worthy, Lord willing, of course, right? It says, O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. So we know it ain't about that, man. We got our grace period, but rehearsing the righteous acts, okay, to show our faith is what's going to save us by the blood of Yahushua, right? It says, but thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, right? We already got the victory written. Therefore, my beloved, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Okay? So you know that don't be able to be shooken up, man, by the thought of being apprehended, by the thought of being beheaded, being killed or something, tortured. Forget about it, man. I'm telling you that Acts the 7th chapter, I don't really want to bring it out because it's a very good thing, but matter of fact, I will get it. Bear with me. Acts chapter 6, then I'll jump over to the 7th chapter. Try to keep this short, right? Acts chapter 6, verse 8, and Stephen, full of faith and power, did great wonders and miracles among the people. And there arose certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of the Libertines, and Cyrenians, and Alexandrians, and of them of Cilicia and of Asia, disputing with Stephen, right? And they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spake. Then they summoned, I think that's how you said, summoned men. Let me make sure. Salakia, the word is suborn, right? Suborn, bribe or otherwise induced someone to commit an unlawful act, such as perjury, Okay. Secretly equipped. Incite secretly. Incite secretly, right? Basically bribed was the word. All right. So they suborned men, which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against the Most High. Right. And they stirred up the people and the elders and the scribes and came upon him and caught him and brought him to the council. Okay, they apprehended him. Okay. Set up the false witnesses. This man ceased not to speak blasphemous words against this holy place and the law. All right. All right, so let's go to how this ended. So he was brought before the council. The 7th chapter, he laid it all out. All right, and when you get down to what happened at the end, let me get to it. All right. Let's see, Slovakia. This. So I'm gonna start up at yeah. Yep. Yeah, so let me start up here, 52, Acts 7, verse 52. Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? Our own people did that, right? And they have slain them and showed before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have now been the betrayers and murderers, even of Yahushua, right? The just one. It says, who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it, right? Because it was Jake that was setting us up. Okay, the men of the Lord, they're not the real men of the Lord, but like the Pharisees, those that kept the law, so on and so forth. When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart, and they gnashed on him with their teeth. But he, being full of the Holy Ghost, looked up steadfastly unto heaven. And this is how we're going to do. He's not looking onto the carnal, he's looking onto the eternal and onto the immortal. Okay? And saw the glory of Yahweh and Yahushua standing on the right hand of Yahweh, and said, behold, I see the heavens opened, and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of Yahweh. Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and ran upon him with one accord. They ran up to take care of business on him, man, to do him hurt, and cast him out of the city and stoned him. Okay. And when you're apprehended, this is what you're afraid of. That was the way that you were put together, put to death with stones back then, right? And the witness laid down their clothes at the young man's feet, whose name was Saul. And they stoned Stephen, calling upon the Most High, and saying, Lord Yahushua, receive my spirit. And he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, out of one, right? Lord, lay not this sin to their charge. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. Then he passed away. Okay, but he went up with the glory. Okay, as he seen it. Okay, he wasn't caught up in that moment. All right, his spirit went to the heavens in that moment, right? He was resolved that this was going to happen to him. That's why he laid it all out. The spirit was on him, and he laid it all out. Okay? Romans 8, verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is in Hamashiach Yahushai, our Lord. All right, so there's no there's no separating us, man. You have to be resolving that. Nothing can sway me away from this belief. And if you're of the elect, you're gonna have that mind state. Okay? Matter of fact, let me scroll up and get one of my favorites, which is like right here. Yep, verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of the present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Okay? Because we're partakers of Yahweh's sufferings. Okay, when they persecute us, they put him to death. It's possible that it can happen to us, but they're for sure going to come and apprehend us. You're only worried about being apprehended because you're worried about being tortured and put to death. Well, we just seen different situations where that happened. Okay, we can't have doubt about anything of the troubles and perils that are coming before us, man, because we're comforted by these scriptures showing that the Most High, through Yahweh, has done and will do for his men. You know, he will provide what's the word I wanted? Comfort for us. Matter of fact, another one I just thought of, the book is full of it. Okay, even in the Apocrypha. All right, Bel and the Dragon, right? Verse 33. Now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers, right? To his workers. It says, but the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, go, carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. Okay, in the face of danger, the lion's den, right? And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which Yahweh thy power has sent thee. And Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O power Yahweh, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. So Daniel arose, and that's what we got to understand. Neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and that love thee. All right, let me grab something real quick. Sirach 2:10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord Yahweh and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or call upon, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Okay, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Okay, we got to know that. Okay, these things should come to mind. These occasions and situations should come to mind. These scriptures should come to mind. Okay, and while you're praying without ceasing unto Yahweh when you're in these moments. And does that mean you say it out loud for everybody? No, you can be praying inside yourself, man. Okay, going back 39. And Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately. He teleported him back. Okay, so we have to know that these things are all possible. As miraculous as they may seem, they're all very possible, and they're gonna have to happen when this day comes down to preserve his elect. He's gonna have to show his power. Okay, as I read in Romans 9. I'll read this one again, right? Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay, one more comes to mind, and I'll close on this one. 2 Ezra chapter 2, I'm going to start at 45 to the point. It says, He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and have put on the immortal, right? And have confessed the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Now they are crowned and receiveth palms. Then he said unto the angel, What young person is that crowneth them and give them palms in their hand? And so he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of Yahweh, whom they have confessed in the world, Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, the Lord, right? Right? And that's where we got to be, man. We got to be resolved in that. Forget about the apprehension, okay? Forget about the apprehension, being apprehended, both of them, okay? We got to be resolved when it comes down to it. The scriptures have built up our, I do have one more. The scriptures have built up our faith, all right, that we produce these works. Now we got to follow through on them, man. Okay? A lot of us had other things going on in our lives that we gave up to drop, pretty much we dropped our nets straightway and followed after Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Okay, so this can't be a doubtful thing. Okay, and we're still here. All right, let me get this last one. 2nd Ezra 9:7, straight to the point. And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Okay? So if we're going to escape, man, it'll be by our belief, our faith, and our works, man, whereby we believe, man. This is how we're going to escape. This is why no matter how bad it gets, and it's going to get bad, even unto death, we should be comforted in what the scriptures say, man. Okay, they're coming to apprehend us, but we have to have resolve that we're going to stand stiffly for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I know it was kind of lengthy, but Lord willing, it was edifying, giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Archakwadash, that belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, hopeful elect. Until the next one, Shalom.